What's up and welcome to this video. Today's video is here because I had a request from one of my followers on my gaming channel who's getting into disc golf and wanted to have a little instruction of how to do and how to begin. So if you're getting into disc golf or maybe trying it for the first time, keep watching because I'm about to show you the basics of the two different main throws in disc golf and the putt as well. Alright, let's just get into it. So the backhand and the forehand are the two main throws. The backhand is like this, and the forehand is like this. The backhand, let's start with that. That's like for most people, that's their main weapon for throwing far. And since it's spinning, as a righty at least, since it's spinning clockwise, it's gonna finish to the left. So first off, grab a disc, and I'll show you how to grip it real quick. Basically, the grip, you want to have your flat hand like this. You put the disc in here just under this pad on your finger here, and then just wrap all four fingers around it like this, so it like goes in line with your forearm. That's what you want to have. So once we have grabbed the disc in the right way, let's get into footwork. So how are we supposed to stand when throwing a backhand? If we say the target is that way, I want to stand sideways towards the target with my feet a little bit offset so that my front foot is a bit further forward. It's not super important, but just stand sideways to the basket. That's the most important. So this right here, this square, you can see that I have like a little box here of 90 degrees all around. That's like the most important position for the backhand. Let's say we're about to throw there. I'd recommend start just standing still and throwing. We can add a run up later if you feel comfortable. But you stand here. Let's start in the most important position like this. So if you start here, you want to reach back, like kind of wind up your throw, create potential for throwing. So when reaching back, you want to turn your entire upper body backwards like this and stretch out your arm directly away from the basket or the target you're throwing at, like this. This is your perfect starting position for your throw. When you're here, you want to rotate the body towards the target. Just the power comes from the rotation, and the arm will follow behind your body, kinda. So you'll rotate your body, drawing your arm in like this, and the arm, if you're trying to stay loose, kinda loose, the arm will naturally come out here, and then once you want to get it back into this power pocket position I was talking about, the main position of the backhand throw, this square again. So you're going out here and going back into this by pulling with your body, having your elbow out in front, remember that. And then when you get to here, your arm should start moving outwards. So basically it's going to move on like a straight line here towards the basket. And that's basically the basics of a backhand throw. So I guess I will quickly show you one or two shots so you can see just about how it's going to fly. So as you could see there, the disc went out there and then finished to the left. That's what it does when it's spinning clockwise. If you're like having trouble with it going too far left or too far right, you can try and adjust the angle. Let me just get another disc. You can try and adjust the angle by leaning backwards, and it'll go more to the right, or leaning forwards and go more to the left. You can try and experience with it a little bit and try and, correct your own throws like that. I'll just throw one that goes a little bit more to the right so you can see that it's actually possible. I'll lean backwards a little bit. So you can see that one started gliding towards the right. That was from that angle I gave it. One last thing about the backhand. If you get comfortable with it and you want to start adding a run up, I would recommend starting in that same position we were talking about, like this, just with your legs together like this. And you want to do 3 steps. The first one will be the right one out here to the right. Now we're kind of in our throwing position. The left one goes behind the back one like this. We call it an X step. And then as you move your last foot out like this, you want to swing your arm back like that. That's your 3 steps for the throw. I'll just show one throw with the 3 steps as well, so you have that if you want it. That one went way out to the right, but that's the backhand for you. Now let's move on to the forehand. This forehand throw is going to be the other main throw. This one is going to spin. If you throw with the same hand, it's going to spin the other way around, so counterclockwise. That means it's going to naturally finish to the right instead of to the left. That's very useful. It's very different from people, or from person to person, which of the forehand and backhand is more natural, and you can definitely start with the forehand if you want to. That's totally up to you. But let's, just like the backhand, start with the grip here. And actually with the forehand, I will say grip is one of the most important parts. So first off, there are 2 different like main grips in the forehand. You can kind of feel what feels more natural to you and then use whatever that is. The first one that most people use is you do the finger gun like this. You basically just put it in there in the rim like this, and the thumb on top. And you want to, when you have it here, you want to squeeze it as far back in the hand as possible into this position here. So you have it as far back in the hand as you can while holding it like this. You want to hold it pretty tight. And then, now this, you need to listen to this. This is so important about the forehand throw. Naturally, you will just hold it like this with like the fingers sideways into the rim, but you want to actually tuck them forwards like this. So you have your fingers into the rim. That's going to help you drive the disc forward and help your hand move naturally like this instead of sideways like this. That's going to be a lot of help for you. The other grip that I usually use is this one. It's a little bit more advanced maybe, I don't know. You can try and feel whatever feels more natural to you. So basically, the forehand throw is a lot more simple. You want to, with the footwork or with the feet, you want to kind of just stand. Let's say the basket is that way now. You want to stand almost towards the target here to begin with the body, maybe like let's say 30 degrees to the right of the target with like the upper body here. Or you can turn it around like here a little bit, but the feet need to be, or at least the front foot needs to be pointing almost towards the target. From here, you want to pull it back behind you like this, and when you pull it back, you can kind of turn your body around with it as well. This one is more wrist based, this throw, but basically you want to turn back like this. Kind of winding up your body. It wants to naturally pop back into this position that you're starting at. So you're taking it back like this, and then you're driving your elbow forward. Driving your elbow forward here. It's just like throwing a ball, really. When you throw a ball, you also throw with your elbow first if you want to throw it far. It's kind of the same thing with the forehand. You want to lean into it a little bit, like forward and maybe this way a little bit, like in a controlled position. I think that will help you. So pull it back like this, drive your elbow forward, and when you get to this position is when you want to snap your wrist forward. The wrist snap is what's going to give you the distance, or at least a lot of it, and give you the spin that you need to make it fly naturally. So you want to drive with your elbow and then snap your wrist towards the target, and you want to just like kind of point your hand towards the target after leaving your hand, after the disc leaves your hand, right? And that should be your forehand throw. sadly, I'm injured right now in my right elbow, so I can't throw forehands with that. My lefty forehands are terrible, but I will do my best forehand impression for you with my left hand. Let's see how this one goes. Okay, so as you can tell, it's pretty unnatural for me to throw a ball with my left hand or a disc. But you kind of saw how it went to the right and kind of burned into the ground. That's something that will happen to a lot of people to begin with, because it's like you're trying to throw a ball and that's what it's going to do. Let me show you how to correct that. Or at least hopefully how to correct that. If you're having trouble with it always going, well, as a righty, it'll always be going down there to the left, and just either start rolling or just burning into the ground and stopping. You want to drop your hand a little bit lower compared to your elbow, so it gets on this angle, outwards angle, like this, and it will be easier for you to keep it on this angle instead of rolling it over here. You don't want to roll it over here. You want to keep it on this angle the entire time, like this. So I'm going to try and do that with my forehand. I've been trying to fix this for a while because I'm trying to learn lefty forehand, but it's hard. Try and keep my hand a little bit lower compared to my elbow. That was much more successful, actually. You see, it actually went to the left, as it's supposed to when I'm throwing left hand. Right hand, it would have gone to the right opposite. If you want to do a run-up with the forehand, this is even more simple. It can be done in so many different ways, so it's not very important how you do it. You just want to make sure that you end up in a position with the feet pointing kind of towards the target. Your back foot can be like 90 degrees to the left, whatever, or to the right, right hand, whatever, you understand. But you want to have your body naturally towards the target, so you can pull back like this and throw. Basically what I do with my right hand, I'll just do a left, and then left out forward, pull my right foot up to the left one, kind of like this, so they're together, and then move the left out forward again, and then do that. I'm not actually sure what I do with my left foot. We'll see, I guess. Yeah. So footwork isn't as important on the forehand. So, but hopefully you can work it out and see what's more natural to you. Okay, so that was the two basic throws. If you have any questions about them, you can write a comment on the YouTube video or something, and I'll try to answer them. The last thing I want to show you, this is going to be a lot shorter because it's more simple really, is the putt. The putt we use when you get inside like 10 or 20 meters or something like that. 3366 feet for you Americans, there you go. You want to just grab this more like you usually grab your backyard frisbee. You just grab it naturally, somewhat like this. Some people do this. I'll actually do this. I'll tuck my pinky in like this to keep the disc where it is. It's really just whatever feels comfortable to you. Again, the pointer finger, you want to have either here, or you can even get it under the rim like this so it's not in the way. It'll help you get some spin around here. So that's your main thing with the grip. You want to make it as simple as possible. Just like when you're throwing a dart, you want to start it at the target where you want to release it, pull it back towards you, and get it back to that same position again. That's the same thing, same idea with disc golf putting. Is I started at the basket. Let's say you are the basket now. I'll start it right here where I want to release it. I'll pull it back on a straight line here, and I'll pop it out to you again. That's really the motion of the disc golf putt. To gain distance with it, you can rock back and forth on your feet a little bit. You kind of, I naturally stand a little bit pointing towards the left of the basket if I was like standing like this, but that's because I'm putting right-handed, so it's gonna go out a little bit more to the right. Whatever feels more comfortable for you there. But to gain distance, you want to load back on your left leg like this and pop back forward when you're putting, like that. I'm gonna show you a quick putt as well on these baskets. Make sure you can see them. Too high. Oops. That's pretty much it. Just get it in the basket. It's easier than it looks. Or is it? You'll find out. So I hope that was helpful for some of you, and now what's left is just get out there, be fascinated, be humbled by the discs, and see if you can figure it out. Have some fun with it. I'll see you next time.